Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Manal Talks Books. I'm Manal and let's talk books. Today I'm going to do my October wrap-up and November TBR all in one video. I am so excited. I did read about 5 books. Now the thing is, if you go back to my October TBR video, I've put books on there that I did not get to. So obviously those books are continuously on my TBR until I finally finish them. And I'm not going to mention them again for my November TBR, but let's just say that they're on it. The first book I read in October was Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. This is the 3rd book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, which I did a review on. Read this book, finished the whole trilogy. I absolutely loved all of the books. 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend. If you still haven't picked up this series, you really should. That's all I'm going to say. Then I read a book that I did not plan on reading, and it's called The Bear and the Nightingale, which I'll put on screen because I don't own a physical copy. It is amazing, guys. This book is like a fairy tale. So this book is about Russian folklore and Russian myth. And it was just so fascinating because honestly, we don't know a lot about Russian, I wouldn't say mythology per se, but like they have their own like stories and legends that we don't know much about. So this takes place in Russia, in like this isolated northern town in the country. We follow this like girl who is the daughter of a lord. She lives in this like small town with her family and brothers, and we basically follow her journey from the like before she was born to her as a young woman of like 16, 17. Basically, she has to protect her family. She has like magic and she's able to see the spirits of the house and the spirits of the forest. She has to basically try to protect them because they in turn protect her family and the village. But she has this stepmother who's very Christian, and there's this priest who comes to her village, and the stepmother and the priest are trying to eradicate these spirits that they call demons. Our main character is trying to keep these spirits alive because they're the ones protecting them from this like evil spirit that has been asleep but is now waking up. So you can see how like a fairy tale it sounds, and it's very beautifully written. And this is the perfect book for a winter night if you're snowed in somewhere. The 3rd book I read is If the Shoe Fits by Julie Murphy. I stayed up till 4 a.m. reading this book. It is the cutest. This is inspired by The Bachelor, and it has a plus-size main character. If the Shoe Fits is a Cinderella retelling, takes place in Los Angeles. This is our main character, Cindy, and her stepmom is a TV reality producer, and she produces a show that is honestly The Bachelor, but in this world it's not called The Bachelor. And basically Cindy participates, and then this is like The Bachelor, and there's romance. I mean, it's super fun, and I also love that this is a twist on the classic Cinderella story. There are so many Cinderella retellings, like so many. But this one is very different because the stepmom and the 2 sisters, the 2 stepsisters, are actually not bad people. I really enjoyed the family dynamics within this book. Then after that, I needed another audiobook for my commute, so I decided to pick up Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is Strange the Dreamer, and just like The Bear and the Nightingale, I never planned on reading this book. I actually bought it and then I sort of put it aside, like in a box to sell it, because I was like, I'm not going to read it. This sounds too weird. That was literally my thinking. Like, this sounds too weird. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover or synopsis in my case. This book is amazing. Give it a chance, even if it does sound weird. After reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, I decided to give her a chance for this book because, I mean, I just loved her writing and I loved her story so much in the other trilogy. So I just knew that I needed to at least try this book. So I got it out of my box. This book is magical. We follow this like librarian who has this dream of visiting this mythical city. And then he gets the chance to go. They discover like what's wrong with the city and why it was cut off from the world 15 years ago. And basically they have to solve the mystery and they have to fix things within the city. And it's just very fantastical and magical. I did actually read a book on my TBR, apart from Dreams of Gods and Monsters. And that was Down Comes the Night by Alison Saft. I didn't finish it. I am halfway. I didn't have time to finish it. This is obviously priority numero uno for the beginning of November. So I really want to finish it this week. Honestly, I'm not too much into it. It's not the greatest. And I'm kind of disappointed. But we'll see. I'm going to have to finish it before I truly formulate my thoughts on it. And yeah, but so far, kind of disappointed. Now let's truly get into my November TBR. This video is already so long. Okay, I'm going to do this really quick. The first book I want to get to is New Spring. So New Spring is a prequel to the Wheel of Time series. And some people say that you should read it after book 5, which I read. I really want to read New Spring now because even though like it was published after the series ended, I really want to read it now because it's about Moraine and the TV show is coming out on November 19th. From what I've seen so far, I think that the first season is going to have some scenes from New Spring. Then I also want to read The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. That's pretty self-explanatory. I loved the first book, so I'm excited for the second one, and it came out in October but didn't get around to it, so November it is. Then obviously I'm gonna continue on with the Strange the Dreamer duology and read Muse of Nightmares. I actually already have the audiobook, so I will read that on my commute. And then the last book I would love to get to this month is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. It's the second book in the Farseer trilogy. I read Royal Assassin's Apprentice, which was the first book like a year ago, about a year ago, and I loved it. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on the Farseer trilogy, and some don't like it because the main character goes through a lot. I mean, he suffers. But I actually really loved rooting for him and just following him like through his really hard journey and tragic journey. And I'm excited to see what he's up to in the second book. And I really, really want these covers. Like, I don't own the books, but I really want to own the books, and these covers are my favorites. However, they're the UK covers, and I can only get them from Waterstones, and they're like £30 each, which convert that to Canadian dollars, that is a lot of money. That is like, what, $50? That was it. That concludes my October wrap-up and November TBR. I hope this was fun for you. Again, sorry I didn't post last week. Next week's video is going to be a review on another summer read. I wish you all a happy November. I hope you all read a lot of your books. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.